And I hope people read it and just go like, hey, like, yeah, breakups suck no matter what. But
Yeah.
like, they don't have to be contentious. They don't have to be ugly forever. They don't have to be resentful forever.
I think you said maybe a few months ago that when you were sitting down to write, you knew people were going to want to know about Lauren and your breakup, and you mentioned in the book it was like the most Googled breakup of the year or something crazy. Um, and I think you might have said that you told her what you were including in the book, or did she read the book, or how did that work for you, and why was that important to you?
Well, I wrote it because it is a part of my story. Like, my life doesn't fully make sense unless you know the entirety of my story, just like any of ours doesn't. And so that is a big part of the story. That's what people seem to want to ask about and talk about. And so I wrote it, and then I sent it over, and we hadn't really spoken, and she was super gracious, and she read it, and she like was encouraging on it. One, because there is no ill will. Like, look, she's married and pregnant, and like, life's good. I'm engaged and super happy, and life's great, and like, there's no resentment or hard feelings there. And so I think, like, when I wrote it, it was coming from a place of being healed and like fully aware now at like how it all progressed and how good it all progressed for both of us. And so she was encouraging in it, and I hope people read it and just say, like, I think this last week I saw some comments, some people talking about it, because I think some article had written that that chapter was in there.
Yeah.
And I hope people read it and just go like, hey, like, yeah, breakups suck no matter what.
Yeah.
But like, they don't have to be contentious. They don't have to be ugly forever. They don't have to be resentful forever. Like, in fact, it's really good when there's healing, forgiveness, like, and people can move on. And I hope people read that and see that within that chapter of like, it's all good. In it, it's awful, right? Like, when you're in it, it's terrible. When you're fresh from it, it hurts. And then over time, you see the light, and it's like, no, this all works out really well.
Yeah, I thought it was fascinating to find out you guys broke up over the phone.
Yeah, well, hey, is there a great way to break up? I don't think so.
Something that also stood out to me that was just really interesting was you talking about kind of starting to date again after the show and after you and Lauren broke up, and like this image that like dates to where like all of a sudden helicopter rides, and like fantasy and Instagram kind of does that too. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, it wasn't very hard to start dating normally again after these dates were set up for you and all that? Just get in your head.
It was hard personally because when I was like, people would have an expectation of who I am, right? Like, I have a great life. Like, I've been really, the show's been great to me, but like, I live in an 800 square foot bungalow in North Denver, like, that's on one of the busiest roads. Like, it's not lavish. Against popular belief, like, you don't get rich doing the show. And so, you go on these days and people would expect you to be something. They see this, they see you in a suit, they see you flying across the world, they see these amazing dates, and I think the expectation is like, that's what life looks like. In a lot of ways it is. Like, I was still trying to be myself the best I could and show that side, but know that like the lifestyle, like, life isn't that exciting. In fact, it might never be that exciting again.
Speaking of, obviously you're engaged. Is there any wedding plan update that you would like to share, or are you guys still just holding out hope that, Corona, the vaccine will work in your favor soon?
We will get married in 2021. That is something we've committed to no matter what. Either way, somehow, some way, if we can have a wedding, that's fantastic. We would love that. It was been something we've both wanted. It's what we've kind of, like, I'd say, and sacrificed over the last year to make sure we can do that. If we can't, then we still make it happen no matter what.